All right, today we are going to go over why you're not progressing even though you feel like you're doing everything right. So, first, we have to, this might sound stupid, or you might be like, Nick, what's the point of this? Just, entertain me for a second. If, we've got our good old, oh God, I can't draw a straight line worth shit. Let's try that again. All right, it's a little better. So we've got our good, 1 to 10 scale over here. If I ask you how committed you are, which I always ask somebody before they work with me, how committed are you to your goals? Because one, I want to make sure that they're actually committed. This isn't just some, side project for them or whatever. This is like a main priority right now in their lives. And two, you can always see the discrepancies of, if they say they're a 10 and then they come to the program and they work like they're at a 6. Now, when I ask you that, and if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you're going to say that you are either a 10 or, you're like right here and you're a 9. But now I want you to think about, okay, if somebody came and just shadowed you throughout the whole day, but you didn't change anything about your day, you lived your normal life, how committed would they say you are on to your goals? You tell them your goals, how committed would they say? Is it more like a 7? Would they say even a 5? Now, 5, there's a lot of discrepancy there, but a 7 to a 9 or a 7 to a 10 or an 8 to a 9 or 10, it seems small, but it adds up over time. If somebody is 70% compliant or 80% compliant, that is a complete difference than somebody that is 95% consistent or compliant for a whole year. Over to like a 12-month period, it is such a huge discrepancy. Like, think about it this way. If Let me erase this. I wonder if there's like one of these things. Nope. Okay. So let's say we have 2 people cutting. We have what are we gonna name them? Fred and Steve. Okay, so we got Fred and Steve here. They're both 220 pounds. Now, they let's say this. They both have their deficits, and based on this deficit over a year period, um, they're shooting to get to 170. So Fred over here, he sticks to everything perfect. After 12 months, he's at 170. Woohoo. And then Steve over here, he does good during the week, Monday through Friday, but then on the weekends he overeats a little bit, overconsumes. Now, the overall calorie difference isn't necessarily huge, but let's say he overeats by an average of 200 a day. Like I said, during the week he's fine, weekends he's not fine. It brings us to a total average of the week where he is 200 over the deficit that he should be at. Oh my lordy. I need to start typing this stuff. I'm not very good at drawing with this mouse. 200 cows over. You know what his final weight would be at the end of the 12 months? 190. It's just a small 200 calorie difference a day. Like, that is the difference of 2 tablespoons of peanut butter a day. And it ends up being a 20-pound difference. Like, it doesn't seem like a lot at the time. You're like, oh, I just wanted a little snack at the end of the night. But over the course of a year, this shit adds up. And I just wanted to give you a visual representation of that. A bit like how big of a difference it actually makes during that whole time. So now, one thing I also want to get into is the progress killers. What are those little things where they actually, those little things that actually do kill the progress that you think you're doing pretty well, but you're not seeing the progress you want? What are those silent killers? Okay. Bold that. Guess not. Bear with me. I don't use this very often. Silent progress killers. What do we have here? Let me get my. All right, I'm sorry, I'm failing at this. I want a free hand, bro. Let me draw. I'm an artist. All right, so one. It's a little big, but it's all right. All right. Sorry, guys. I am apparently not going to be able to draw. We're going to type everything. Okay, number one. We'll call it weekend drift. Weekend drift. Now, what is this? This is when you have your people like Steve that I was just showing that is good Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday even, or Sunday through Thursday, and then like Friday, Saturday they're go over, they have alcohol, untracked meals, and it takes their daily caloric average for the week up a little bit, which then over the course of a longer period of time, like I just showed, creates a big separation in the progress that you are going to see. And just how it goes. You know what? Instead of me pulling out a new one here, why don't I do this? Weekend drift. And then number two is going to be we'll call it training intensity delusion. There we go. Training intensity delusion. So what is this? It is the area where people think that they're close to failure, but they're just kind of reaching like uncomfortability. Like they're just training to where they're uncomfortable, and they think that is close to failure. Like, I promise you, most of you, I'm granted, there's some of you guys that are probably like, screw you, Nick, I always go to failure. I'm right there. But training intensity delusion is where people tell me that they're training hard. And I've had this happen too, where it's like, they're like, yeah, I'm always going to failure. And then I have them send me a video of their exercise, or they post a video on Instagram and they're lifting. And I'm like, I saw at least 3 or 4 reps in the tank there. It's just like little things like that where you think you're going hard and you're not going fully hard, that are going to mess with things again over a period of time. Number 3, I'm going to say recovery debt. No, I don't want to switch to a doc. Get out of here. So recovery debt. This is going to be like your sleep, your stress, inconsistency with like your movement. So your sleep debt adds up over time. Like, people think that sleep isn't that big of a factor, but over time, like if you have 3 nights in a row where you miss, everybody's a little bit different. Let's just say the average person needs 8 hours of sleep. Okay, let's say 3 nights in a row you sleep 5 hours. That's 3 hours a night. Now you are in the whole negative 9 hours of sleep. So you're not just going to be able to sleep on that 4th day 10 hours and wake up and be like, oh, ready to go. You're still going to be 7 hours worth of sleep debt. So that just shows you how important it is to have a consistent sleep schedule, because it's so hard when you have a couple bad nights of sleep to catch back up. It's a real thing. Like, I say that and people are like, I sleep 6 hours a night and I'm totally fine. Yeah, well, that's one, probably because you're used to feeling like that. And number 2, some people just don't need that much. Some people function completely fine on 5 hours of sleep. Other people do not. Number 4, we'll say program hopping, or, like diet hopping. Dude, all the time, because people think with their feelings, with their emotions, which is going to be kind of my next point. But program hopping, they're like, oh my God, I've been in this cycle for 2 weeks and I just don't feel like I'm making a lot of progress. And then they hop to another program. Like, no shit, you're not seeing progress yet. You've been on it for 2 weeks. Give it time. You need to run a cycle through of workouts for at least like 8 to 12 weeks. And 8 is still a little short. I like 12 weeks of consistent workouts to see how you're progressing. Because when you change the lifts, the first 4 weeks, if it's, movements that you're not typically doing, you're going to see improvements on those exercises just from neurological adaptations. You actually, like, for it to get to the point where like you're working on building muscle, like your progressive overload is coming from building muscle, is going to be after that period. So you have to ride the cycle, the programs out for a little bit. You can't just go like a couple weeks and expect like to see a huge difference. So quit program hopping, stick to something long enough to actually see results. Number 5, like I was talking about, emotional decision making. So, you see, the reason I have this separate, even though program hopping is kind of an emotional response, is because I'm talking about emotional decision making, especially with your eating, like changing calories based on scale fluctuations. You see the scale spike up one day and you're like, oh my God, I have to drop calories. Oh my God, I have to drop my calories right now. Or, if you're bulking, you see your weight go down. You're like, oh my God, my weight went down today. Relax, just some water weight. It's okay. You're going to be fine. Take a breather. Stay off the scale for a couple days. Come back. Everything's going to be all right. Stop changing your calories and just panicking immediately. Those panic adjustments can absolutely kill your gains, and that just makes you sitting there spinning in circles over and over. So, yeah, we gotta quit that stuff. Now, to get you to start fixing some of these things, I'm going to challenge you to compound some stuff here. So let's say my challenge for you, finishing out, let's do it finishing out this week or next week, whatever. I hate when people say I'll start it on Monday, but this is the middle of the week. So if you want to start on Monday, whatever. So pick one of these, I don't know, we'll say 4 or 5 things. We'll see how many I get to. Plus 1,000 steps every day. Add 1,000 steps, or we'll say plus 30 minutes of sleep per day. How about this one? Actually log your damn lifts so you can actually see progress and stop panicking and hopping onto something else. Actually log your damn lifts or, your meals. We'll say, what can another one be? Remove 2 drinks. Remove 2 drinks if you're going out on the weekends. That is my challenge for you this week. One of those 4, and I'm going to start leaving these at the end of videos. So expect, if you're coming into one of these wanting to learn some shit, good, but I'm also going to challenge you. I want you to either add 1,000 steps, add 30 minutes of sleep, log your lifts or meals every single day, or remove 2 drinks for the next week. And this can be something that compounds. You can start the first week, I'm going to add 1,000 steps. Okay, I got that down. That's into my routine. Now I'm going to try to go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Okay, boom, got that into your routine. Now you're going to start logging your lifts. I promise you, do this stuff and watch how much your progress will change in the next couple of weeks. It is the little tiny things that compound over and over and over again that allow you to see the progress. So that'll pretty much do it for this one, guys. But quit being emotional, get your damn sleep, train hard, and quit fucking off on the weekend. If your goals are that important to you, like right now, if you are cutting for the summer, lock the hell in. The summer's coming up. You can drink this summer. You can go out on the weekends during the summer. Quit fucking off right now. All right? All right. I'll see you in the next one, guys.